Hello everybody and welcome back to another Marvel Rivals video, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We are on the alt account. We'll be going over a game here in a minute, but I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I did to end up getting this account placed so high. So for the entirety of this account's existence, it's been in relative proximity to my main account. So in Season 0, this account actually ended in Diamond 3, but at the time of me hitting Diamond 3 on this account, I was actually Diamond 2 on the main, so it wasn't exactly like it was astronomically higher. This account was always just been kind of in league with the other one, which has been great. As you can see, Season 1, we ended in Grandmaster 3, and then Season 1.5, we are now in Celestial. And overall, through all seasons, we have about 125 matches played with the 92 games won, which I believe rounds out to, I believe it's around a 70% win rate, which is nothing to, be sad over, obviously. We'll go ahead and show off some of the stats over here. But the largest thing that I kind of wanted to take away is that while playing on this account, for the most part, I did play on it solo because I kind of wanted to get a little bit of a better experience with the account and kind of understand some things. And I found out that this is actually a very, very good tool of doing things. Magik is a character that thrives in a brawl situation as well as a one-on-one situation. I found that Doom Match, playing this mode, has been extremely helpful, especially within the last week. I've improved so much. I know I haven't been live as much, and I haven't been able to show off a lot of the gameplay that I would like to get across, but I actually genuinely think that this is a wonderful way of practicing. Doom Match is extremely underrated for a character like Magik because you actually have to constantly keep the wheel turning and thinking about what you're going to be doing next. What is the next step and how can you possibly improve? It'll also allow you to kind of strengthen your decision making and, enable the core just a little bit better of your game awareness, which is fantastic. Without further ado, we're going to go ahead and drop into the video that we're going to be going over. As you can see, I have a lot of Doom Match played, a lot of it. We're going to go ahead and jump into the game that we'll be going over now. So sit tight and we'll be right in just a second. Okay, wonderful. We're back. So this game is actually going to be played on the new map. I believe it's the Central Park, Transylvania Squirrel Girl one. I hate this map personally. I don't really like it that much, but it's a very, very lovely way to showcase it because I actually don't have any content on a map like this other than like live stream games. I should probably turn down the audio. I got told that it was a little bit loud in previous videos, so let me go ahead and mess with that a little bit. Cool. Okay, so first and foremost, we're off the start. We're going ahead and taking a left angle. Let's look at our team comp. So we're the red team on the bottom row. So we're rocking with a Magneto, a Hela, myself on Magik. We have a Star-Lord, a Cloak and Dagger, and a Luna Snow. So this is a Grandmaster 1 Celestial 3 lobby, so it's nothing too low at all. It's definitely the higher echelon of players in comparison to the rest of the elos in the game currently. So it's not bad. I really enjoy taking a left angle like this. I feel like this is a very, very good spot for a character like Magik. You get a lot of opportunities to kind of wrap into this castle part over here on our right, which is wonderful. As you can see, we're going to go ahead and try to pressure it. I actually don't think that we get much off of this first push initially, but that's okay. Yeah, Hela ended up taking a really weird angle on the right-hand side, which is never good over there because she has nowhere to go. Like I said, can't really see a whole lot. We get bailed out right here. Positioning was a little bit rough, which is fine. Totally better option is to go from above. We don't end up dying, but damn near. That's fine. We lose the push. All is well. We'll start from scratch. We'll see how it goes. This is a little bit silly. On the right-hand side, I believe, we're going to see our Hela does some goofy stuff. Is she back over there again? Yeah, I don't know. This is a really, really weird angle for Hela to take because she can go over here fine, but she cannot leave, like, ever. There's never an angle where she can leave, especially doing this, like, where Mag is. I don't really get it. The ideal spot for those of you that are Hela players that I've seen a lot of people do is actually taking this lower or higher part up here on this left side. It's not exactly hard to get to, as you can kind of just, I believe, go through here, right? No, is that breakable? I actually don't know, but you can just kind of like wrap through up here, and then you're in a much better spot. So I'm not really sure, but it ends up staggering us again. So I actually call, hey, can we push a 6 instead of, dying off rip? That's just a death trap unless your whole team is pushing through there, and I don't even advise doing that 9 times out of 10. That's normally advised for like a character like Magik or Psylocke who can get in and out. We landed a big right click, the big giant projectile on the Hella right there, which is not bad. Right here, we're just kind of fishing for our right clicks to build as much ult charge as possible, which is a very healthy way of getting kind of a reservoir. Right here, we try to tempo ult without a tank, so the tempo is immediately killed. Why is this bad? Well, let's back up a second. So if we were to have done this when we had the Magneto up, this wouldn't have been so bad. But the issue comes from we need to... essentially, when Magneto dies, you need to consider like the tank. He's a core piece. If that is your queen and then the supports back here are your knights, like on a chessboard, you kind of need them to stay alive, right? So if you lose one of the 6, like primarily if you lose a Magneto or you lose one of your 2 supports, the tempo play that you're trying to push isn't immediately killed. You can't really do a whole lot in this situation, especially on his death. Now he did get bursted down, which is quite tragic, so I think this was more of an issue on that part, and we try to fish for something, but in a situation like this, especially after they ult, we just need to build ult charge as best we can and leave. Do I end up dying? I believe so. Yeah, I do. I overstayed quite a long time, so that's definitely a bad death on my part. Totally fine. We did get a lot of ult charge out of it. We ended up trading a support ult for support ult. We just burned a lot of time, which is very unfortunate. Especially considering we didn't fight as 6 because we lost Hela, and then we tried to tempo ult without Hela or Magneto. Well, actually, Hela was coming back, but... So scratch that last part. There's a huge right click from us. Actually, it leads into a kill on the Hela, which is great. I love taking an angle up here on this left-hand side and then ulting, because now we are going to force them to force an ult. Big kill looking for the support. When you're in an ult like this, it's always super duper preferable, especially whenever they're like not looking at you. The only person staring at us right now is the Bucky, but we're in Darkchild ult, so we're gonna aura farm. We see that she is quite low, so diving immediately is like best case scenario. Luckily, we do actually end up direct impacting with our dash, which is huge. What would the other play be? There's actually a really good angle to kind of try to kill the Luna out of her ultimate. You actually have a really solid angle right here. The biggest issue is that we're down a player already, because again, our Hela died off spawn again. And then ended up swapping. But playing in this angle, you actually have a really good opportunity if you wanted to try and one-shot the Luna out of the ult, the charged projectile into the slash combo, or like the big dash. You actually get a really big window here, and that's actually a very capable opportunity for her to die. But regardless, we actually do end up getting the kill on the cloaks, so the play is incredibly solid. And then we are able to play around our team very well. Star-Lord and Magneto both pop really good ults, so it's very huge. We didn't exactly carry that fight, but we didn't leave 0 impact as well, which is great. That's all that we're looking for, is to impact the fight in some way, right? The big thing about like these VOD review videos that I like doing, I don't necessarily love going over like, oh my god, we curb stomped this game, because 9 times out of 10 that's not going to be the thing, so I don't only like doing them. It's a very healthy way of like showing, hey, other people are also going to perform well, and we performed phenomenally this game, for sure. We did very well. Okay, pressuring up there, and we actually end up making the Namor fall, which is very good. We could have an opportunity to kind of run down and kill this Hela, but it's very scary, just considering how far back our team is, and also not only that, say we do kill her and we do get out, it's a huge play, but if we die right here, it's a little bit risky. I wasn't entirely on my mind, more so I just wanted them to not hold this area up here so we could have a kind of a free push for the most part without, you know, getting harassed by Namor. So backing off right here was kind of the intention directly after seeing that, because you never want to get 2-tapped by Hela. People on PC are laser beams. It's very scary. Okay. Big thing here is that we engage with Demon. It's always a lot better in these situations to drop it in a corridor like this, and then just brawl inside of it as best you can. Big kill on the Hela. She stepped into our kill zone. And now we have the cloak ult. Making sure that you actually... This is a very big thing. I see a lot of Magic players, especially in lower elos. You guys will kind of be in a position like this. And then I want you to consider something like this, right? When our team is pushing, they're coming. It's not quite here yet, but they'll be here in time, right? There's no way that we can get bursted fast enough unless Namor hits a giant headshot on us, right? This is a really good chance for us to try and tempo this, because they're all really low, and Bucky's coming off an ult timer, which is huge. because Strange is so low and we're trying to ramp up as much shielding as we can. Look how like our team turns this corner immediately, and then like we have a really good opportunity to get a lot of healing here, assuming that Cloak and Dagger drops out. But more importantly, it's really, really nice that we are able to kind of chase down the Strange while having a really, really good timer. We're having a lot of momentum here, and dropping the demon and then kiting backward, dropping the demon to kind of build as much damage as possible. And now this was I actually enjoyed this play, and I actually don't hate what I did here. We do end up dying, but you'll see why. So the idea here is to actually go and catch the Hela, who we know is coming off a spawn timer. Hela in a close proximity fight with Magik, unless she lands the stun into a headshot, is a very, very vulnerable target. Especially if you consider, hey, you know, they're coming off of spawn. What are the odds they're going to use a movement ability? And in this case, as you can see, we obviously can't see this in real time, like in the game. It's, you know, we just have to guess that it's going to happen. But she actually does end up birding. And a lot of DPS players will do this because the idea is to get back into the fight as fast as possible. So, because we see her hop out of the bird, this is a huge angle. We end up missing the dash, but I would go as far as to say that if she doesn't ult here, this is a super winnable fight. We have the health pack here, we have this, and I would go even further as to say that this is a way more worth encounter because she does ult. We actually, no matter what, if we live or die, we get something. So in best case scenario, we outplay and we get a kill in the Bucky and we leave, and then the Hell is still ulting. You know, in worst case scenario, we do die, but they're going to be a little bit later, and the Hell is going to be an ult, right? So it's not too bad. We're taking aggro of 2, so we're essentially making that fight down below with our team and their team a much safer bet that we are going to win. So even if we do die, the value that we're providing for our team is definitely more viable. It's not the worst thing in the world, right? And even right there, if I would have portaled, there's a really, really good opportunity that we actually do outplay. But I tried to go for the dash or the air slash instead, so we missed. But as we said, because of what we just did, our team actually has a very, very good timing, and they can push the card even further because 2 people are not in the fight. So they were not able to win, right? Very, very nice. Okay, moving on. Just taking a regular standard pathing. Get stuck on a tree stump like a noob, bro. It's okay, though. Okay. Know that he's going to be... we see the eye coming out. Just dropping a demon here. Again, trying to just build as much ult charge as possible. The Luna's in ult here, so it's a super winnable engagement. Go behind the wall. Pop another ult. Right here, the biggest thing is that we want to stall as long as we possibly can. But because we combo it with the Star-Lord, we actually end up getting a big pickup between the 2 of us. And it's a very big 1-2 punch. Magik Star-Lord, if they don't have an ult ready, is a diabolical setup. It's so hard to fight air game and ground game at one time. Star-Lord is able to pick off the people that are on the low ground that are hiding from Magik, and it allows Magik to kind of go in and fight the people that are on the cart. It's very, very big. We weren't communicating that, but I think he was just reactionarily popping it when I popped mine, which is definitely fine. It's totally cool. We actually get a whole lot out of it. This is the hardest part. This will always be the hardest part of this map. I call this Death Bridge, or Hell Bridge, whatever you want to call it, Purgatory, whichever one. This bridge might be the hardest choke in the game to push. I have genuinely, in Celestial games, seen this bridge. I've seen more games come down to who pushed it further up this bridge than who got it to the end of the map. And this bridge is just really hard because you have angles like this from these left and right sides. The tanks are constantly going to be playing in here, which is really, really hard. Ideally, what has worked most of the time for me and the people that I've played with is that you actually have something like a Loki or something hold the cart and then put clones on top of this roof part right here, or maybe up here, and then you actually have your team wrap in this building right here. Your tanks will play inside of this building and push out. I enjoy that a lot, but you kind of have to communicate with your team what you want to do because you have a lot of natural cover because you're doing that as well. Rather than this whole kill shot area where characters like Hela and Namor, you know, they're just going to get a lot of value. Punisher is huge on this point as well. Which is why exactly we are actually holding an off angle already off the start when we're letting them pass. The idea here is that we want to harass the backline, but I think that we go quite early. This is a very big blunder on my part, and this could have turned into a really, really big problem if my team actually reactionarily was like, oh, we gotta go. and then I'm in a really bad spot, especially considering we only have a thing as our tank. Our supports cannot comfortably push behind him, especially with Namor. Namor, Bucky, Luna Snow has some sniping capabilities as well. You know, it can be really, really hard. So I actually do not like how early I pushed this. I could have thrown this entire point. We're still hovering it, dropping the demon, kind of harassing. Again, the goal isn't necessarily to get a kill, but more so to just cause issue. I sit here waiting for some healing, but in this situation, my thought process is I don't want my support to overextend to try and heal me, so I'm going to go get a health pack. And again, it's kind of an L play. It's already dead because I messed up the engagement. So we just back off, we reset, no problem. And we'll come back to it, we'll come back with 6, and we'll try it again. We'll see what we can do. What are old timers looking like on our team? We have a cloak ult coming soon, so we can definitely try to get a tempo engagement ult in. I am ready to put on a show. And there's our only tank dead. Right here, we're just going to try to build as much ult charge as we can. Especially now that we have the ult. I'm not sure if the ult was a good idea, considering our thing was dead, but it happens, you know, it's okay. Again, retaking on an off angle. Never approach from the front as Magik. It doesn't work a lot of the time. Especially whenever you're trying to break up the team comp. I don't like pushing with the thing only as a tank. It's very, very not good. We talk about this a lot on this game, where there are certain tanks that are just a very selfish pick. And playing with the thing as Magik, if you have another tank, is actually very fun, and it's very doable because characters like Bucky won't be able to dash. You know, you have a lot of options. The issue with Thing being solo tank is that he's kind of a sponge, and that he just eats. He dies, you're left with your pants down in the middle of their front line. You really don't like that. So the best way to do this is to constantly try to harass the backline to get an opening for the Thing to run through, so that way he can do damage and get healing while they cannot heal their tanks. And so the transaction there would essentially be that the Thing wins the fight because we are causing so much aggravation. We see that he's low. Big 1-2 combo into the kill. Not bad. And again, holding the soft angle. Now they're down a pick, but we're now down a support. Okay, again, kind of just doing some damage here, pushing them off, making sure they don't have a steep foothold, and then we back up yet again. Okay, I do believe we're coming up on the moment where we actually are able to get a big push here. We have a lot of ultimates, so we've waited for this moment for the entire match. Immediately, we see Star-Lord is ulting. Now we walk forward. We got a little bit low. Come back. And push with the ultimate because now we have tempo. This is very, very big here. Okay. Okay, not bad, not bad. So, for those of you that are interested, this is for a little bit of people that might not know the lingo a little bit more, right? Whenever I say tempo, the thing that I really, really want to talk about here, right, is not necessarily the fact that the Luna isn't an ult. That definitely helps this, and it kind of slingshots us into having this setup, right? But more so, if we go ahead and hit tab, we see that they're down the engagement. They're down 2 people to our 5, right? So it's a current with what they have, a 4v5. Because of that kind of situation, we have a very big engagement opportunity, especially considering how healthy we are as compared to them. We know for a fact that they are not going to be healthy because, well, Namor is 1 HP in front of us, and we have both of our healers up as compared to them missing 1. So this is going to be a very, very big situation. You know, their Cloak and Dagger is off to the side here, which is a very, very big offset. She's forked. Essentially, she's going to die here unless she fades out. So because of this, we need to keep the pressure. We are winning the engagement. Magik is incredible at holding these positions and just constantly putting pedal to the metal. Go, 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 especially when you're winning an engagement like this. So it's very important here that we keep on the Namor. The Namor actually takes a death, and now we go in, and we immediately look to put a demon on top of the Magneto so he takes damage while he's walking away. We missed the dash, which is okay. And then we just back out again, wait for the healing to come. And yet again, back to pressuring it after we get healthy. Or we have our teammates right in front of us to make sure that we are not just going to get completely folded. Very, very big. And immediately, right after all that is said and done, we go back to kind of holding an off angle, playing the natural cover rather than playing out in the open. We have a big ult angle here. And now we don't necessarily get a kill, but if they did touch... Let's just take a look really quick. we end up putting them in a really bad spot. Even if they do get a touch here, we do get frozen, but the Cloak and Dagger is very, very low, and she's going to have to direct her attention at the Cloak and Dagger rather than damage us, because otherwise, I'm going to come out of this freeze after she hits me. I'm going to be pissed, right? She's dead, and then immediately we turn on the Luna, who now no longer has a freeze. So because we took an angle and we actually pressured this backline over here, it's going to be very big. They don't end up touching, which is fine, but the play in general was the right idea here. Not bad. At the end of the first, we actually end up rounding out with about 8 final hits and 12k damage. So we got a lot of ults. We got a lot of final hits in comparison to the rest of the lobby. Except for Trick. I don't know. I think, are they playing tank? I don't think so. That might be the Namor. But regardless, we didn't play bad. We played around with our team, and we kept our deaths low so that way we were always, you know, ready to go into the next engagement. Very, very important. Magik does a very good job with her movement abilities at getting out. So it's very, very pertinent that we attempt to do that as much as possible. Right here, we're going to be playing in this castle part on the right-hand side. I'm only going over these so, like, thoroughly a little bit more because I haven't done a video on this a lot quite yet. And I know this is kind of a harder map compared to some of the other ones for a lot of people right now because it's so new and fresh, which is totally fine. It's hard for me too. But I really enjoy playing up here on this castle part, because unless somebody comes up over here and they directly challenge us, or somebody's sitting on the staircase just looking over here to make sure that I don't push, this tree is a very, very good tool to use for natural cover, especially whenever you consider, you know, down here, you also have a room to play in where the demon is going to be huge for you, right? Because it's such a closed off angle. So I really like playing on this like castle area, because then if they move up and tank actually ends up pushing past this tree, they break the choke. Immediately after that, we can portal and drop a demon on top of the support, get our melee kill, and then back off, because in this situation, we're not necessarily looking for a 3-man kill. We're looking to kill one support, so that way our team can tempo and move forward, pushing the rest of their team out, and we win the engagement. Lather, rinse, repeat, right? Cool.
2, all you need to do is capture the mission area.
Remember, if you guys made it this far, go ahead and like and subscribe if you like the videos, and go follow the Twitch as well, and go join the Discord that we have down below. It's filled with a bunch of lovely people. Okay, so as you can see, just like we talked about, immediately, people are moving forward. Bucky is, like, hovering around this area, which is totally fine. But we see in the kill feed, we're actually up the exchange. It's fine, just like we said. You know, we end up getting seen. Totally fine. We'll just back off and leave. This is why it's so important to not just directly engage with dash. You need to really think about, like, what do you get? Every engagement is a transaction, right? So what do you get versus what can you lose, right? The worst decision you can make is indecision. So you have to decide, what are we going to do? How are we going to engage? In a situation like this, especially against a character like Bucky, rather than going in and engaging with your big dash, I actually recommend dropping on him like this with the projectile, doing a little bit of damage, and then ideally portal here, and to kind of read through this, because if he does miss this, you know, if he misses all of the shots, then you're in kind of a good spot. He ends up landing it, but because we didn't engage with the big dash, we can portal away on reaction, and then we can just jump out, which is totally fine. You know, we're still pretty healthy. 188 HP is nothing, right? And now again, we're in a position where if the tank moves forward, maybe now, if we do get another dash, we can end up landing it, knocking the Magneto in the air, and then we can portal twice away through the front of the choke, and then we can go back to brawling with the tank and applying pressure that way, the old-fashioned way, which is totally fine. Okay, not too bad, and then we just back out like we said. And now we are playing in neutral again. This is kind of where we're gonna be sitting for the next couple of seconds. Okay, we find out that they have a Wanda. We end up whiffing the dash, placing a demon in the air. Very, very big. Kind of assuming that she's gonna default to falling back to her team. We saw her go high in the air, so that's the only reason. Very, very lucky that it ended up working out, but not bad nonetheless. Okay, right here, this is very, very big. So we know that Magneto is kind of in a really rough spot, and where he's trying to dance with our Strange. You know, he moves back, like Magneto moves forward, that kind of thing. We kind of try to help them Namor here. But now that we're in ult, we have no reason to help the Strange anymore, right? He's going to be fine on his own. He's in no danger of this guy. But we did catch out of the corner of our eye, Magneto's up here. And who's down here? our only counter, right? So this is a really, really big situation. Namor is only a counter if he has a squid on the field, but in a situation where we have a cloak and dagger roll, he can have 80 squids on the field. I don't give a damn, right? The big thing now, the big giant high IQ play is here. We really want to end up diving the support. In this situation, rather than using the big dash, I kind of would have preferred myself to just portal and then walk at her for a second. But the dash is okay. It's not a terrible idea. Because we actually probably would have been able to secure 2 kills here on our own without needing any help. But we do get the kill into more, which is not bad. And right here, I do believe our team trolls a bit. Yeah, we move really far, and I come here to try to help them. And I'm just like, nah, we're screwed. It's time to go. They overstayed quite a bit. Especially in a comp like this where, you know, they've got a lot. We talked about tempo a minute ago. Talk about tempo, man. Characters like Bucky, when they get going, they go really hard, right? Foot to gas. And our Bucky is not exactly doing, you know, crazy numbers or anything. Oh my gosh, never mind. Their Bucky's doing way worse. I'm spitting at nothing. Ignore that entire thing. Our Bucky's actually doing fine. Okay, kind of defaulting here. The big idea is that we're coming up on an ult, so I kind of think that it's a possibility to float something, maybe, if we end up getting it, but we ended up dying a little earlier. But we got a portal golf, so that's not bad. Stalling for just a little bit more time. And in this situation, we were able to ult, but a lot of us are already dead, unfortunately. Okay, now we're in a Luna ult. The issue is that they're all so beefy. Okay, we get a kill. Big, we get 2. Oh, we actually do win the exchange. Oh, they have a lot more time than I was thinking they do. The next fight's the problem. But not too bad. Playing in the Luna ult with the Darkchild ultimate. Spamming your primary fire on Darkchild, by the way, just like your basic attack, is not a bad way of going about it, and holding your portals for whenever the big cooldowns are coming is very, very helpful. Okay, right here, we're kind of looking for her. We saw her dip off, but she ended up getting away. Again, the whole plan is to kind of try and aggress on the supports, but they ended up peeling quite a bit better this time. Supports played really close to their Namor, so that was a very big problem for us. And our ult came out a little bit after we died, so... Okay, that's the bell. That's the victory bell for the blue team. Very, very, very tragic. Dog, I've been devouring apple juice lately. I don't know what it is, man. Every chance I get, I have got an apple juice jug in my hand, dude. I can't help it. Okay, up here we're just gonna take some high ground, kind of look for it. Very, very big kill. We see that they have this, and I don't know what this cloak and dagger was smoking crack, but we weren't able to capitalize on it, unfortunately. Okay, we get big healing. Now we're just waiting on cooldowns. See Namor, we get a big pick on Namor. Big pick on Scarlet. And now we have a bit of a tempo timer. This Magneto's way out of position. I don't know what he's doing. Okay, make sure that we place the demons so we're always getting more damage out of our exchange. And just kind of portal out. So right here is definitely not too bad, all things considered. We have some ultimates coming up. We have a Luna ult on the way. And they obviously just burnt a lot of their cooldowns a minute ago as well. Star-Lord pops his ultimate. And now we're just going to try and push as fast as we can to help him. Big kill. And now just to make sure that we don't do what we did last time, we end up falling off earlier. Definitely don't want to make sure that we stagger ourselves again like we did just a minute ago. That could go really sour. Definitely do not want anything like that, right? Okay. We have Bussy Barnes on the top of the roof. No problem. Not really entirely sure what I'm trying to do here other than like just kind of ego him. Seeing if I can get something out. Okay, this is a huge ult angle. We still get 2 people before the ult actually goes off. So in a very realistic setting, they probably just don't even want to ult with that Luna. So we are up we're up way more out of this exchange because of the late ultimate, right? Because if she were to ult immediately after seeing us here, oh, they don't have it yet. That's why. Interesting. Okay. So because she doesn't have it yet, all the more reason why she doesn't want to ult here. She has a very, very big timing. It's more to their benefit if Magneto and Luna die here. You really want to die fast in a situation like this where there's no... You're a soldier without a country, right? There's no fight to be had anymore. The initiative is dead. Because you've got 3 ults. You got the biggest blunt rotation of your life. You got Star-Lord, Bucky, and Magik, and all 3 in Ultimate. What are you doing, right? Okay, Wanna ults, and as usual, nothing happens. We see Magneto is really out of position. Make sure we follow his momentum with our portal to drop a demon on him. And now we're going to walk back into our team. Kind of just playing around the idea of building ultimate charge as fast as we can. Very big kill on the Wanda. Very good look. Catch her out of the corner of her eye. And now we're going to back up. Not too bad.
There they are.
Okay, and now immediately again, we're taking it off angle so we can prepare to kind of harass the backline whenever we need to. Again, when we're running a team comp like this, it's very, very helpful to kind of do something like this because our Star-Lord is also playing very heavy in the dive field. So typically I would say, yeah, you have a lot more options to kind of poke and, you know, prod at their team. But if Star-Lord is going to be aggressive, might as well be aggressive with him, right? It's very, very helpful. And you can also always revert back to helping your tank from the angles that we're taking. Okay, immediately dropping the demon on the backline. We're getting a lot of free value out of this because they're just walking into it. We just get 2 big pickups right there. Very, very huge. And now they officially have one more touch. They're portaling. And here, because we know that they're kind of weak, especially now that they have an Iron Man, it's going to be very important that we get a big kill on him. Because he makes us have a little bit of a harder time, right? Okay. Get a bit of damage on him. But rather than falling off, we're actually going to chase because we know Star-Lord's got an ult ready and waiting on the other side. And because we chase, we actually get a very free pick, giving us up the engagement even more than we already were. And look at that, we already have another ult. Very big. Not too bad. Very, very good team play. Super duper good game for us. And at the end of the game, we actually end up dropping an MVP with 23 final hits and 24,000 damage. We're a high roller this game. We dropped a lot of damage, and we only have 4 deaths while doing so. Star-Lord had a lot of, you know, help with kills, but he had quite a few deaths. Bucky, the same thing, had fine kills, but had quite a few deaths. But we played our life, and we weren't exactly scared of doing anything. It's not like we fell off of every fight. You know, we were still engaging with everything, but we played smarter, not harder, right? And that's the thing that you want to do. You don't necessarily always have to mechanic stiff somebody out of the game, especially on Magik, where you can kind of play your fundamentals and you'll do fine. But I hope that you guys enjoyed the video. I sure had a ton of fun playing on this account, especially this season. It's been very fun to kind of take other characters as well as Magik and go and learn them and kind of figure out some nuances and try, you know, lose the pressure of, you know, the big one with all the skins and stuff on it. But I love you guys so much. I'll be back to streaming soon, back to constant uploads again very, very shortly. And I will see you guys next time. Later. See ya. Love ya. Bye.